today we're going to be talking all about what impedes comprehension. Maybe you think and you wonder, why is it that some kids struggle with comprehension while other kids, they just seem to get it. Like they read it, they understand it, and it's hard to know like what is actually stopping them from understanding. So keep listening to hear about all of the ways that it can comprehension can be impeded. Okay, so what's going on? One thing that can be going on, and this might seem simple but not simple, is background knowledge. So sometimes being able to find a kid's reading comprehension level can be significantly impacted by how much background knowledge they already have. And number two is phonics. Phonics is a reason why kids will struggle, okay? If I can't pronounce a word, then I'm going to struggle with being able to tell you what the passage was about, especially if it was a story critical word. Number three is fluency. So I've been having just this huge core group of kids this summer where fluency was actually the reason why they were struggling with holding on to the text. And I'm not necessarily talking about speed. I mean, that's a piece of fluency. Yes, I can get a kid to speed on up, but if they're not understanding what they're reading, speeding them up is not going to help them a lot better. We have to actually look a little bit deeper at fluency to find out what is impeding them. And number four is vocabulary. And your ESL kids, this is like one of the top areas right here that's going to mess them up because they don't have as large of a vocabulary as the kids where English is their first language. Now, here's another thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration. We've got these kids and they have short-term memory issues. And, they didn't talk about this a lot when we were kids. They didn't talk about this a lot even when I was in my beginning years of teaching these kids that struggle with their short-term memory. So these kids, they struggle with taking information from their short-term memory, moving it into their long-term memory. And so if you have that problem, can you imagine reading a 20, 30-page book, being able to hold on to the meaning? Absolutely not. It's just not going to be possible if you're not processing. Actually, that's the next one is exposure to different genres. A lot of us don't think, we think, oh, when we read from beginning to end. But knowing the story structure of certain genres is going to help you. The way I read a biography and hold on to information is different than how I'm going to read a book about a place. The seventh thing, and I said this is the one nearest and dearest to my heart because this is a lot of the kids that I work with. They have this, and there's even still people today that they don't even believe it exists, and it breaks my heart because we have kids that are suffering in silence. They are saying to themselves, "I'm dumb," right? And so their own thoughts about themselves are impeding their comprehension. Because if I'm dumb, then why bother? Why bother trying, right? Number 8, I kind of alluded to this one a little bit before, and that was not knowing how to monitor comprehension. Okay? Not knowing how to monitor comprehension. Monitoring is knowing when things are starting to break down for me. We all have this at some level, right? That we struggle with monitoring our comprehension. You're reading, and all of a sudden, you're glancing over each of the words. You're even saying the words inside of your head, but you've totally blitzed out. You're thinking about, that fight that you had this morning with someone, or you're thinking about what you're going to do later on in the day, right? We just blitz out. The reason why you blitzed out is because you can monitor your comprehension. You've realized, wait, I don't remember anything I read. And now you have to determine, do I need to go back and reread it? Or do I feel like I'm still good and I can continue going on, right? We could do that as adults. But kids that struggle with reading comprehension, they don't know the difference. They don't even know that it's happening. Number 9 is ADHD. So an ADHD kid, think about their brain as fireworks, right? It's just going ADHD, when that's happening, it's really hard to focus on what you're reading, and therefore you're going to have comprehension issues as well. So you will find a high level of kids that have ADHD struggling with comprehension. Number 10, I see this all of the time, are test taking skills. Kids just don't know how to answer the types of questions that they're being asked, and nobody has taught them. How do I know? Because that was me. When I was younger, I used to call myself a poor test taker. How to monitor their comprehension, and how do I know if I'm actually understanding? How do I know? Am I interacting with the text? Am I saying things inside of my head? What kinds of things am I saying in my head? Am I asking questions? Am I making connections? Am I just noticing that that's something new that I never knew about, right? All of these things can be things that will impede comprehension, but together, you and I, we can just unlock the doors for these kiddos and be able to help them increase their comprehension so that they can go on to succeed and do greater things in life.